How did Choral Symphony No. 1 come about?
You approached me.
I approached you
and
said, let's write a choral symphony.
because it's going to be in a symphony hall.
Because it's going to be at the Birmingham Symphony Hall. I think that even the title of the Saturday night programme was Symphony Sounds or something.
Yeah.
So that word symphony
Yes.
was very much in my mind. I was very much aware of Robert Redhead's Pastoral Symphony for brass band.
Oh, yes.
And I thought how compact that was. So in 15 minutes, we could write 4 movements, which takes some doing because it's quite compact. It's only maximum 4 minutes, less than that each movement.
Yeah.
So it's so we had to kind of think about the variety and all that kind of thing. But I thought we could. So I spoke to you and said, right, you're the man for the job. And then we chatted through how we were going to divide up the work. Do you remember that?
Yes. I think I suggested you write some music first.
Yes, you
That
did.
was my usual path.
Yeah,
You get going.
I get going. And I think maybe on this one, I think I remember you got going on the second movement whilst I was writing the music for the first. And when I'd completed mine and you completed the second movement, we swapped over and you wrote the words to the first movement and I wrote the music to the second movement.
That was very clever of us.
Yeah, it was very
Give each
clever.
other
Yeah,
jobs
and it's
to
such
do.
a long time ago. We're doing very well to remember this.
Yeah, you've done very well to remember that.
And I think we then had the same idea for the third and fourth movement, but the third movement I'd already kind of written. It's something that kind of developed over many years, almost for me.
Okay.
That third movement. So I had the tune not arranged in this style, but I certainly had the melody, which I formerly used in a band piece called Metamorphosis.
Right.
And then the fourth movement came.
And we titled that third movement Devotion.
Yeah.
So
What was the titles of the 4 movements?
it was Holiness, Aspiration, Devotion, and whatever the last movement was. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a definite, I could tell through those words, there was definite journey through there.
Oh, yes. And the devotion, we had a couple of attempts to get
We did.
words that we were really happy with.
Yeah,
But in the end, we had to go to Calvary.
we did. There was no other place to go, was there?
Not for
Really?
devotion, no.
No. So that was a nice, interesting moment.
Yes.
I can remember when I was writing the first movement that this word holiness was buzzing through my mind.
Yes.
And I knew at some stage, because I love the song, the tune of Nicaea
Yes.
was very much in my mind, and I thought it would be lovely to include that. And that gave us also words which were right at the centre of the movement,
Definitely.
holiness. And that was very good of you to allow me to use somebody else's words.
Well, that was okay. It gave me a place to go to
Yeah,
aim for.
yeah.
So
And I think, your words were kind of centred around that. I mean,
Definitely.
I can, the words around holy, holy, holy.
Well, I picked up on the holiness of God being touched with fire, lips of flame.
Yes,
It's all scriptural,
yeah,
which led perfectly to holy, holy, holy,
yeah,
Lord God Almighty.
yeah. And that was a nice, that felt very, very complete and very, very nice to do. And I finished it down because obviously it had to lead on to another
That's right.
movement. Yeah, I mean musically, when you're writing for the staff songsters, it's a great thing to do because it gives you much wider range, I
Yes.
suppose.
Yes.
In terms of how high and low people can sing, and the technical demands of it can be higher than what you would normally do. So it's a great privilege to be able to do that and have almost, you can write what you like and people can handle it.
And be assured it's going to be sung well.
Yeah.
And I like when we got into aspiration, the second movement. How do you aspire to godliness, to holiness?
Yeah.
And so I made every line a question.
Yeah.
because
Give us some lines
it's beyond.
from that.
Well, how can I walk with the Lord?
Yeah,
How take the path that He trod?
yeah,
Can His Spirit come and dwell in me? So everything was a question: can I?
yeah,
Is it possible?
yeah,
Because that's an aspiration that
Absolutely.
really is really beyond us.
yeah, yeah.
So that worked really well.
You did.
Lovely tune.
Musically, I knew that had to be quite down in terms of pitch and simplicity almost.
Yes.
For the sake of being able to sing the thing through, you know, if you've had a hard first movement to sing and it's demanding, you
Something
need
more relaxing
something
now.
in the second movement. And
Yeah.
these words just kind of just spoke to me, and just almost the melody found itself,
Yeah.
you know. And I'm very fond of that second movement. It's a very nice moment.
Yes. Every line's a question.
Yeah.
And then we got into the devotion, which was your pre-written tune,
Yes.
where we went to Calvary.
And that's the answer, of course, to the question.
Yes, I know.
Always.
that's how we can do it, because of
Yeah.
what Christ did on Calvary. And then we got into Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, this had to be joyous, didn't it?
Yes.
So there was no question about what the style of this was, and so starts off as a single unison passage and then builds up, and lots of rhythm and stuff going on,
Yes.
and hopefully exciting to listen to.
And the layers get added,
Yeah,
the key change.
and the key changes, and finally this the setting of this chorus,
Yes.
which is Father, we love you, we worship
Worship
and
and
adore
adore you.
Yeah, and so everything flying around there, and which brought the whole thing to a conclusion.
It was good fun.
It was, and it's always good to write for an occasion, and you know, the occasion was the Symphony Hall, you know, which is a nice thing to write for, and real pleasure to do.